Hello, I've taken today's project from the porcelain flowers and I've got it covered because you can use this for birthday cards, you can use it for christening cards, you can use it for Valentine cards, and you can use it for Mother's Day cards, and God forbid you could use it for a bereavement card. What am I talking about? Red roses. You cannot get anything more beautiful than a red rose. And you can see all the different sizes of the roses. And on the background, it's like a mother of pearl. And it shines, and you can do so much with this. That's your main piece. Then I've taken some decoupage pieces. And as you know, decoupage goes from a larger to a smaller to a smaller. If you don't want to put them all in, don't put them all in, because there are two lots to this decoupage. So you've got the one I've just shown you with the leaves on, and then this would be your next one, and you go down and down and down until you get to the tiniest little piece there. But as I say, if you don't want to use them all, don't use them all. Then you've got these. You have got the makings of a wedding card there, because it's the shape of a bouquet. If you wanted to make a cross for, as I say, a bereavement card, all you need is that one with another piece across the back, and you've got your cross. Then you've got your sentiments, and again, you can see every rose. And that one, it's got the background in it as well. The mother of pearl, that one's more all roses, but you've got all the different shapes. Then you've got the backing paper. Look at that. And I've printed it off in the vellum look, because with the bright on the outside, I like to do the pale on the inside. Then we've got the insert. And there again, you've got these beautiful bouquets of roses. So that's the papers I've chosen. Now my card, I've picked a cream card, and somewhere along the line, I've joined two A4 pieces together, and somewhere along the line, we've all got one of these boards that'll put a fancy edge in it. And that's all I've done, and it's made it just that little bit shorter than the bottom card. So I'll start on the inside as usual with the insert, and this time I'm going to lay the insert like that, because when I fold my card, I want those roses there to be on show. So off with a double-sided, and just lift that like that. Take it all the way off, put it out the way, knife down there. And as usual, I don't like cutting to perfection because I can never get it laid on straight. So just run your finger down there, close your card, make sure that's okay, and you'll see I've got a little bit round that edge that I shall trim off. So I'll get a pair of scissors, and I found this is the easiest way of doing it, because you're not trying to get it exact, because as you know, exact very often doesn't work. If you want to do this with your craft knife, all well and good. So just take that off there like that, all the way down, right the way down to the bottom, like that. And then also, there's a little bit along that edge as well. So we'll trim that off, scissors again. And as I say, if you feel happy with your craft knife, do it with your craft knife. But for ease, while I'm trying to show you, I'm doing it with a pair of scissors. So take that off there like that. So that's the inserting. Now I've got the backing paper. And what I've done is I've done the same edge on the backing paper as I've done there. And I want to put that in just a little bit so that you can see the backing paper, the cream and the backing paper. So again, craft knife just to lift that out of the way. And this one I'm going to work from that side, laying them, because I've done them the same, laying them from that edge to the outer edge, like that. So that's your second layer. And again, I've left a little bit, and this time I'll use a ruler and a craft knife. Says me clattering about. So just lay that down there like that. Hold it tight. Craft knife, excuse my hand, because it is going to be in the way just for a minute. Straight down there. Take that bit off. And that bit there. Out of the way. And that little bit there, just fold it over for now. And I'll show you what we're going to do with that in a minute. And I think just to hold it while I'm doing it, I'll just put one little tiny piece of tape on it to hold it out of the way. Because when we get to it, I'm going to cover all these up. So just lift your tape out of the way, like that. That's it, out. And just fold that down. It's just to hold it out of the way until we get to see into it properly. Turn your card back over, and now you've got your 3 layers. Now I've put my biggest layer onto a piece of red card because I want it all to stand out, and I'm going to position it about there. So turn that over, and I'm just double-sided tape again, because I do like double-sided tape, and I want this flat. So lift that corner, turn it round, lift that corner, and this way it doesn't grab before you're ready for it. So lay it, try and get it reasonably centred. I mean, we're not perfect, and that's the way you tell a handmade card. So peel that tape off, just run your finger down it, peel that one off. So that's your first layer on. Now then, I've taken a layer of acetate. And what I've done, same again, I don't know whether you can see the acetate, I've just run along the edge the same pattern, and that's going to fit close up to that edge, like that. So it's going to lay over the top of everything you've already put on. So down this edge, piece of double-sided, and you're going to say, oh, she ain't doing that very well, all that's going to be on show. But it's not going to be on show, and I'll show you why when I've finished. So this is just to hold the acetate until I'm ready to finish it off. There we are, double-sided down there. Craft knife again, just turn that a little bit so that I can lift it. Lift that off there, like that. Come on, no, 1 minute. I'll be waiting half a minute. Lift, that's got him. No, it hasn't, that's taken the whole lot off. Well, that was a good piece of tape. So we'll start again. Down this edge, another piece of tape, straight down the edge, and I'm going to cover all these up, and I'll show you how when we finally get to it. If we get to it. Trim that little bit off there because I've been over generous. That little bit, move it out the way because it'll stick to everything, like that. Press that down because I'm not going to let that happen again. Lift that up there, the corner, and it will come off. But these flowers, I mean, my mother loved roses. And a red rose, you cannot get anything more beautiful than a red rose. And I don't care who you are, it'll cover everything. So back with the acetate, and your acetate will mark. You have a little bit of a job to see it, so all I'm doing is laying it over there like that and just run it down there. So you've got 3 layers on there now. And again, craft knife down the edge, like that. straight down, no messing, says she. And as you know, acetate's a little bit difficult to cut down there. And then down this long edge as well, like that. Press fairly hard because, as I say, acetate's a little bit hard to get through. And you might even have to go through it twice. But sooner go through it twice than go through it once and make a lot of a mess. So there we are. That's your acetate fastened. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to build up my pattern on top. So take your largest one, just a few foam pads. As you know, I don't use a lot of foam pads. And find the right way to lay it on, which is there, like that. Then you've got to keep your eye on both these sheets because, as I say, there's quite a lot. So you're working down in size. So your next one will be that one, which is, if you look at that flower there, you've got the little bit sticking out there. So there's always something to line it up with. And try and get them fairly well on top of each other so that you haven't got 94 flowers. But it doesn't matter if you have. And I've only used small foam pads on mine because I don't want it too high. Now the fun starts because we've got that one. Now, if you can't see where it's going to go, just lay it on and you'll get a different arrangement of flowers. Same with this one. And as I say, if you don't want to use them all, don't use them all. That one, lay him on there. Because what you're doing is you're building a pattern up. You're building a picture. And you don't always have all the flowers at the front and the rows, flowers at the front, leaves at the back, that's right. They come all over. So if you want that leaf in there, put it in there. Keep building it up, and when you've had enough, say, right, that's it, I've had enough. And we'll pop that one on there. And then this one, just the last piece I'm going to use. I have got some smaller ones, but I think that is a nice arrangement on the top. So that's that. Now then, I've done a sentiment. And I've taken that sentiment, and all I've done is I laid it on a piece of the red card that matches the red card I've used there, and then offset it and just tacked it with one foam pad, put a piece of ribbon through the front. Now I want a foam pad just to fasten it to the card. And I'd already got one on there. Oh, I've got two on there. So let's say we'll have that there. Just there like that. Ribbon's a little bit long, trim them off, like that. Now then, what about this edge? You can't leave an edge like that. So what I've done, and I'll bring them back in to show you when I find them. You know the bands that we had? And I can't, they must be here somewhere. There we are. I've taken two of the bands and I've trimmed off that leaf and joined them together so that I've got a long strip. And you can see where I've joined them, just there. And then I've folded it, not quite in half. Just go down it with your ruler and your scoring tool, like that. And what I'm going to do is I'll just move that out of the way. I'll put double-sided tape on the back, and I'm just going to trim that off, like that. Turn it round because it's easier this way. Trim that bit off there, like that. And now, because I've got a larger piece and a smaller piece, I want the largest piece at the front. So lay your card in it, like that. And then just fold that over. You've covered all those horrible edges you'd got, and you've still carried on with your roses. And then it's just a case, you've covered all the bits at the back as well. Then it's just a case of trimming off that one there. Move that out of the way and trim that one off there, like that. Turn it back over, and that's my interpretation of the roses.